It is Thursday, March 10th, 2022, and you're listening or watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter to another brand new episode of the Boiler Breakdown Podcast. I'm Tanner Lee, along with one of my co hosts, Evan Webb. Fortunately, our other co host, Andrew Eiler, could not join us because it is busy season for him and his job. Webby, what is going on? It is conference tournament week.
It has. It's already been a crazy couple days, or a crazy week to start, to say the least.
The madness has begun.
Yeah.
It's March. The Big Ten tournament, crazy already today. Saw Indiana, unfortunately, in Purdue fans' case, erase a 17-point second half deficit to end up beating Michigan by 5. And then Iowa sets about 5 different Big Ten tournament offensive records today against Northwestern in an absolute beatdown.
Yep. And then yesterday, I think it was Northwestern coming back from 14 down against Nebraska. So you've already seen 2 double-digit comebacks in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more.
Nope.
As we're recording this right now, it looks like Michigan State's probably going to close Maryland out and win the 7-10 game. But, of course, the game we're all interested in Boilermaker Nation, Ohio State and Penn State, has not tipped off yet.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that one? Who do you think the Boilers might see tomorrow night at 9 o'clock down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse?
Yeah.
Still trying to get used to that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you think Ohio State, but I mean, Ohio State's Kyle Young's not playing again. He's battling some concussion issues. You know, Penn State plays tough. They're not a fun team to play by any means. They really kind of muck it up and make things difficult for you. And we're kind of seeing this, or as we've kind of seen the last couple of days, you know, teams that play the day before seem to have a bit of an edge, at least to start the game, because they're loose. They're used to the arena already. You know, if they won, so they're kind of, you know, feeling themselves a little bit. So they usually can get up to a hot start. I mean, as we're recording this, another interesting game to look at is in the Big East. Currently, with just under 16 to play, St. John's is up 14 on Villanova.
Wow. How's Wheeler playing?
Let's check. How's my boy doing? So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see, especially like games like tomorrow where you got Indiana versus Illinois. You know, especially like these teams, like the top 4 seeds haven't played yet. It'd be really interesting to see how, you know, these teams that played today and win, if they can come out guns blazing tomorrow, because they've already gotten, you know, one game under their belt and feeling good about themselves. Wheeler is 0 for 1. He's not scored.
Not so good.
Yeah, Champagne's carrying the load with 20 points. No other player on St. John's has scored double figures yet.
Yeah, Penny can fill it up.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So the Big East has been crazy today. I mean, we saw Butler beat Xavier yesterday in overtime, and then they did their best to knock off Providence and losing by 4. But, yeah, it's conference tournament week, man. It's always a fun week. Fun 2 weeks, I should say, with the smaller conferences. Ray Davis on Facebook says if Penn State can score in the paint consistently, could be a good game. Oh, yeah. Penn State's an annoying opponent to play. They will hold the ball until at least 10 on the shot clock, if not 5.
So they will really bring down the possessions.
They will slow it down and, like you said, scrappy, aggressive. It's only a matter of time before Shrewsbury's got them in the tournament.
Oh, yeah. Once he gets his guys in there, and, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch from a Purdue standpoint, but also suck because they'll probably be pretty good at some point.
Either opponent we play tomorrow night's only the second time we get them, so which is interesting.
Penn State we beat on the road, and Ohio State we beat at home with the Jaden Ivey buzzer beater.
Yes. Glad that one didn't go into overtime.
Yeah.
One of the games we haven't talked about, since we haven't recorded an episode since the loss at the Breslin Center. We didn't even talk about the loss at the Kohl Center.
Do we have to?
No, we don't really have to. Of course, you know, all you need to know is Wisconsin banked in 2 shots in the last 25 seconds of the game, pretty much. And then where was I going with that? Oh, here's where I was going with that. Unlike the Ohio State game, where I think if we went into overtime, we were in trouble, I honestly believe Michigan State and Wisconsin, if we could have gotten to overtime in both those games, I think Purdue comes out victorious.
I think so too. Yeah, we really, Ivy and Edey really started turning it on there late in the second half, and yeah, I mean we came, you know, battled back, and you know Ivy hit a great shot to tie it, and then after Johnny Davis thankfully had his foot on the line, He hit that banked in shot. I'm not sure what he was doing. If he was trying to draw a foul, I think
Yeah, there was 9 seconds left on the clock.
But he's a hell of a player and made a hell of a lucky shot. And then, yeah, Ivy comes down and I mean, he knew he was pulling the whole time he was dribbling up the court. And I was like, please, God, go in. It went in. And then, yeah, Hepburn comes down and hits it right in Ivy's face. I didn't realize it until like probably the 7th time I saw that stupid shot. But Ivy just like was so mad after that shot went in. He just kind of threw his hands up like,
not again.
Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah.
Ray says Spartans are up 6 with 1:48 left.
Kind of closed the gap a little bit. Maryland did. Let me bring that up on my phone so I can. And also another game, Baylor Oklahoma tied just at the under 12 timeout.
Ooh, Baylor was 8-point favorites in that one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'm back. My camera likes to go out occasionally, so at least the audio is still there. So I am back. Ray says the press is hurting Michigan State.
Been there.
So yeah, many times. So if Purdue can get past Ohio State and or Penn State, then it's a revenge time, either against Michigan State or Wisconsin.
Yeah, I really like Purdue's draw in the Big Ten tournament.
Sure.
At first it was, if we got the 1 seed, it was most likely going to be playing either Indiana or Michigan, and I didn't really like either of those opponents to play again, especially after last Saturday. But then obviously we kind of stumbled, and because of Wisconsin lost, we were going to be a 2 or 3 seed, and I really did not want to play a Rutgers or an Iowa team, and thanks to Wisconsin losing and Illinois winning, we get probably the best draw out of the top 4 teams.
I agree. And I know we've already beat them twice, but it's so hard to beat an opponent 3 times. And I'm speaking of Illinois. I was glad if they had to get a tie of the Big Ten championship, I was glad they got the 1 seed, put them on the opposite side of the bracket so we don't have to play them until the championship game if we do see them, because we did not fare so well the 2 games following those victories against the Illini.
No, we did not. As we've kind of seen, it takes a lot out of you to beat Illinois, and same with Purdue. I think the only team, there was a stat that I texted you guys, I think there's only 1 team that had won a game after playing Purdue, and it was Wisconsin. They beat Iowa back in December, but that's the only time I think a team after beating Purdue has won their next game.
I thought they all 6 lost.
No, Wisconsin I think beat Iowa. Yeah.
Okay. That would have been back in
December or early January.
Early January.
Because Rutgers and Iowa were the 2.
3-point game, minute 26.
Fats Russell just hit a 3. Wow.
Yeah, Michigan State, man.
Okay, Michigan State, if they lose, what's the situation there? I mean,
they'll get in.
Yeah,
but they're not going to be. I mean, they'll be a 10, 11, 12.
Which is, not a 10, 12 seed I really want to play. I mean, if you're
but this is just not the typical Michigan State team. They don't have that centerpiece. They don't have that go-to guy. They have a lot of depth, but that's the loss. I look back on our season, and I want to kind of get into a deep dive here of our season in review, a regular season. That's the loss out of the 6 that drives me the most mad was Michigan State, because I just don't think they're that good.
Yeah, that and Indiana one for me, just because we had a chance. We got up. We could have gone up 4 and really kind of closed it out, but we airballed a 4-footer. The one I think that you're also just annoying is the Rutgers one, because if he didn't make that shot, we win. Like, it wasn't like you could argue with Michigan State, with Indiana, with Wisconsin. All those games that, if they didn't hit that lucky shot, you could argue that Purdue still has to maybe go to overtime to win or whatever. But literally, if Ron Harper does not hit that half quarter, Purdue wins the game. And that's the one that's the most frustrating.
And we're tied for the we tie. We're the co-champs, and we're the 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. But they each were frustrating in their own ways. Rutgers, of course, the half-court shot, but we were up 8 to 10 points at one point in the second half, just couldn't put them away. Wisconsin at Mackey, we missed tons of free throws. Johnny Davis goes off. Davison makes some big plays. Our third loss was Indiana. Of course, Rob Finney has game of his life, but Tracy Jackson Davis is in foul trouble. Like you said, we're up 4, and it couldn't close. Then I apologize for my dog whining in the background here. What was our next loss?
At Michigan.
Michigan was just we got boat raced from. We're really in it from the start. It felt like.
Yeah. Then Michigan State.
Michigan State. That we never had the lead in that game. That's the one about that game that frustrates me. We just we're tripping over our own feet. It's 70-68 with 1:06 left.
Yeah, my ESPN app is a little slow. Okay, there goes 70.
And then
must have got fouled. Okay.
And then, of course, Wisconsin banks in 2 shots at the end, which I thought Purdue played a great second half. Down 11 or 12 at one point, fights back to take the lead. That showed some guts and some resilience in that hostile environment that night. So hopefully we don't have to talk about any more losses. Hopefully this past Saturday against the Hoosiers, which we tried to fumble away a big lead, hopefully that started a nice 10-game win streak for the Boilers to close out the year.
I'll take it. I'd be all right with it.
Because, I mean, having a record of, what were we, 26-6, 25-6?
25-6, yes.
I mean, that's still a very good season.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's still shocking to me that we got through the non-con without a loss. But it is frustrating how talented this team is, and they didn't get a share of the Big Ten title.
I think part of it, too, I mean, as we saw, the top 2 teams who won had old teams,
right?
Or maybe not old, but they had guys who had got
old pieces,
key pieces. You look at Purdue. Yeah, we've got the 3 seniors, but our best 2 players arguably are sophomores with Ivy and Edie, and so you're still we're still relatively young. I mean, obviously you have 3 seniors, but then Ivy's a sophomore, Edie's a sophomore, Thompson's a junior, but Newman's a sophomore, Gillis is a sophomore. Morton's a sophomore. Caleb First is a freshman. So
we have 2 other freshmen that are redshirting.
Yeah.
Ray says Edie hasn't to stay out of foul trouble early.
Has to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the slew of last couple of games where he's gotten in foul trouble early, and it's just kind of taken him out of it completely.
Yeah, because Wisconsin had no answer for him.
Nope.
Up at the Kohl Center, but he got in foul trouble. So it was nice to see Trayvon Williams kind of snap out of his funk a little bit against Indiana, make some huge plays down the stretch. I thought all three seniors, Sasha, Eric, and Trey, all made some big plays down the stretch and really bailed Purdue out.
And probably one of the better games of Eric Hunter's career, if you look at it. I mean, we won that game because of him. Like, he got us started early. I thought he did a good job defensively. I thought he did a good job defensively on Johnny Davis in the Wisconsin game.
Sure did.
So he's definitely kind of really come on late, which, I mean, no time like the present, I guess. But yeah, I mean, really, it was cool to see the 3 seniors take us home on that one because we needed it, because that would have been disastrous.
Yeah, it would. We would have been more than limping into the Big Ten tournament. I mean, it would have been. And of course, I just want a W tomorrow night, but I would like just a nice coast win. Just I feel like we haven't had that. I mean, Rutgers, we won by 12 at home, but I feel like even that one wasn't a coast. We haven't had one of those for a long time.
You get up by double digits, and I'm not saying get up by 20, but like you get up by 12 and just keep it there. Obviously they might get it down to like 8 or something, but get it back up to 12 and just keep it there. And as we kind of saw with Indiana, I thought we were gonna make them quit, and then we kind of talked about it after the game time. We went to dinner, but I thought for sure, like, just their body language, like, man, these guys are done. And then all of a sudden, we kind of let them back into the second half, or in the end of the first half, and then they got their head up, and then the pick and roll, we just could not do it.
Obviously, I hate to say it, they must be a bunch of fighters, because today they easily could have quit. And I think that's why their fan base is so ecstatic, because I think at halftime, they're like, well, there we go, back to the NIT. A lot of them gave up. A lot of them didn't even watch the second half. Then they fight back and win. They could be in. Some bracketologists have them in. A lot are saying they still need to win tomorrow against Illinois, but they're definitely right in the conversation. So I
think they're in, unless they just like completely like get their doors blown off tomorrow, which I don't think they will. I think they're in, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's.
I'd be interested to see. Like, if Notre Dame loses today to Virginia Tech, and because right now their whole thing is they've got 4 wins against tournament teams with Michigan, Purdue, Illinois, and Notre Dame, but Notre Dame's not good. They're kind of still in the bubble, getting there in Michigan. I mean, Michigan, too, is right there on the bubble, too. So I'm not sure you can really count those 2 as solid wins yet.
And even if Indiana gets in, say they get in without beating Illinois tomorrow, I think we see them in Dayton. One of the play-in games, which you're in, but are you in? I know you are in, but yeah. Yeah. Ray has a question for us. Do we see Newman at all the rest of the season?
I
don't think so. I just hope he sticks around next year. I hope he sees that there's opportunities ahead and sticks around, because I think he can still be a really good player. It just kind of got in a bad funk at the wrong time, and Ethan Morton's kind of replaced him.
Yep.
So, yep. So, any score update?
Michigan State's up 2 with 17 to go. Well, my app's a little bit behind. Let's look around the country. Oklahoma's up 5 on Baylor with just under 8. Villanova is storming back. They're only down 6 with just over 11 to play. I think that's it right now. What's going on?
Okay.
Hold on. That's a lie. I went to top 25. Ball State's getting their doors blown off. Western Kentucky's up 1 with 9 to go. Virginia Tech's up 10 with 9 to go. Ooh. That's really the only one that is worthy to talk about.
Is this team, this 2021, 2022 Boiler team remind you a lot of the 2017, 2018 Boiler squad at this point?
Yes. Yeah, just because it was, we had all the talent in the world, but, just couldn't get out of our own way a couple times. Ohio State, not boxing out to a Keita Bates-Diop put back, layup at the buzzer, essentially. Miles Bridges 3 at basically the end of regulation that year. Yeah, I mean, it sucks because it's like that was such a great, and it was the only team to ever get 30 wins for Purdue,
right?
Which you hope to see this team get to 30 wins as well,
right?
But yeah, hope to see you get something out of it, whether it be a Big Ten tournament or obviously a nice deep run. I mean, that team still made the Sweet 16 even with Isaac Haas going out. But yeah, it was kind of one of the great teams that really didn't have anything to show for it. Didn't even get the pre-conference tournament championship because we got destroyed by Tennessee. Or we didn't get destroyed, but we lost to Tennessee, then lost to Western Kentucky.
To Tennessee in overtime. We should have had that one. And then Western Kentucky, I think, beat us decently, and then beat a good Arizona team in the like 7th place game or the 8th
that was
place game, or whatever
originally it was supposed to be. That was going to be the championship game, and then both teams are fighting to just not have the worst weekend of possible.
Maryland ball with 15 seconds left.
Okay.
So, do you go for do you drive it to the hole and try to get tied up, or do you just go for the 3?
Well, it looks like what's going on here? It says Malik Hall turnover, Eric Isles steal. I don't know what's going on here. I guess we're just gonna wait for Ray because he's way ahead of my ESPN app.
Evan, I'm gonna have to take my dog outside real quick. Can you? How about you do the shop read real quick?
Well, absolutely.
Let everybody know what's going on with the shop, because I know they're advertising a bunch lately. So.
Yes. If you guys are watching, I'm wearing the Eric Hunter NIL shirt in honor of his fantastic game against the Hoosiers. The shop, they've been around since 2011. Started out making T-shirts in the garage. They've since moved on to not only an online presence at theshopindy.com, but also 2 brick and mortar stores. One in Indianapolis and Broad Ripple, but also another in Carmel in the Clay Terrace area. But if you go to theshopindy.com, use promo code breakdown for 25% off. They actually just came out with a new Purdue shirt in honor of March. Pretty cool, simple design. Also, if you've got a Hoosier in your life like I do, they also came out with a brand new Indiana shirt as well. But if you use promo code breakdown, you get 25% off your entire order. They're huge with the Indy 500. We got May right around the corner, and if you're from Indiana, that May is different in the state of Indiana, so they're prepping and getting ready to go for Indy 500, and they usually do. They have quite a bit that they launch around that time. If you're a Pacer fan, they've got Pacer gear, they've got Indianapolis Colts gear, they've got some pretty vintage retro gear. They do pop culture. Like if you're a fan of the Office like we are, they just had I Feel God in This Chili's Tonight from that Pam said on The Office in honor of her birthday, because she's from Fort Wayne originally. It looks like Ray just said that Michigan State is going to close it out 76-72. Bummer.
Maybe Maryland tired them out a little bit, but they'll play Wisconsin tomorrow and the first of the 2 later afternoon games.
Mm-hmm. So that was actually when I was at the Purdue game on Saturday. Stuck around for senior festivities, and I actually saw, as you expected, Rob Finney had a large contingent of family members and fans there, being from Lafayette. Kind of sitting behind the bench. I saw him and Trey Galloway come out and talk to their family members behind the bench, and they actually sat and just watched senior festivities, which is pretty cool. But it was kind of cool to see some of Rob's family members were wearing T-shirts from the shop of his own NIL shirts. So
right.
Hopefully they use code breakdown for 25% off.
Hopefully they did. Hopefully they did. Well, I'm gonna do one more sponsor read while we're at it, and that's Mad Mushroom. They got a new pizza of the month. It is March. It is a brand new month for us recording here. So they got it. March pizza of the month is the Reuben, which is Swiss cheese topped with corned beef, sauerkraut, mozzarella cheese, and finished with a Thousand Island dressing drizzle and caraway seeds. If that sounds good to you, order 2 of them. So your price is over $20. Then you get $5 off online with coupon code BREAK5. Or if you're dining in or going to pick up the pizza, just let them know the Boiler Breakdown sent you, and you can also get $5 off your order over $20. That's Mad Mushroom, right in the heart of West Lafayette, serving Boilermakers all over decades now. So staple right there in the heart of West Lafayette on campus, home of the original cheese sticks. So go check them out at madmushroom.com. Feed your head. And Ray's saying he's going to be there for the whole day of games tomorrow with his son Brock, so former manager at Purdue. So enjoy, Ray, and cheer hard for us, because hopefully we have a great showing of attendance there tomorrow night at 9:00, because I think it's going to be packed for that first one between Illinois and Indiana.
Yeah, tell Brock I said hi. Former coworker at the for intramurals,
and he whooped us in intramurals too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Well, who didn't? Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
But Brock's team really put it to us. Really bad. Really bad. Yeah. I don't think that was the game I had to sit out because of broken nose. It might have been. I don't know. No, because we were halfway competitive that game. Maybe the writing's on the wall right there. I'm out. We're competitive. So, yeah, I think I found our issue there. Walking turnover right here. So, but one thing we haven't hit on is the all Big Ten awards came out on Monday. Jaden Ivey, first team. Zach Edey, second team. Travion Williams, third team, also picked up sixth man of the year, which that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And Eric Hunter, first team all defense. So.
I don't think there's a better first team all conference.
Oh, it was pretty darn.
Usually it's like, they're obviously all great players. And I can't remember. Did they try and do like an actual like starting five, with a couple guards, forwards, and center? Or they just did they pick the five best? I can't remember what they did last year, because last year was the year of the bigs, where you had Kofi, Garza, Trey Jackson Davis, Trey Williams. Like you had. I can't remember if they gave it to multiple bigs or if they.
That's a really good question. I can't remember.
Because really, I think they should do like just the five best players. But really, you had, you said, Jaden Ivey, you had Johnny Davis, you had Keegan Murray, you had Kofi Coburn, and EJ Liddell. That is a hell of a starting five if we had to roll it out.
We can't stand them, but they kept Hunter Dickinson on second team.
Mm-hmm.
He's a heck of a player. We can't stand him, but
I think it's where he's not better than Kofi. EJ Liddell's a special player too.
Right.
Yeah, that's starting five. Which did you see what the SEC did for their first team? They had 9 players on their first team, all SEC. What is that about?
It just means more, Evan. It just means more.
Is it because they don't know how to count down there, or I don't know what it is, but
they're always used to bending the rules down there, so it's nothing new for them. Speaking of SEC, our former buddy Tom Crean got officially fired today by Georgia.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, his overall record in 4 years was 47-75.
Wow.
Not good there, Tommy boy. Does he get another crack?
He had a number 1 pick. And what's his face? Plays with Timberwolves, and I'm blanking on his name completely right now.
I am too. I know who you're talking about, but does he get another crack at being a head coach, you think?
Yeah, but it's going to be like MAC level type. It's not going to be a power 6.
I think he has to go down a level if he does.
Unless it's something like I'm trying to think of like a Virginia Tech. Maybe Virginia Tech probably is above him still, I would say. But
that's a better job than Georgia.
It is. You're right. I'm trying to think of a.
I don't know, man. I mean,
would you have him coach Northwestern I mean, would he be better than Collins?
No,
You don't think so?
I, I think he can recruit, but Northwestern's a tough place to recruit at,
It
and
is.
I, no, I think he's got to take some time off, be assistant, be a TV commentator for a little bit, or in studio analyst or something, and then maybe he can get back into it. But we saw former Boiler Bruce Weber resign from Kansas State today. I could see him being done.
Anthony Edwards, shout out to Adam Bartels of the Full Steam Ahead
Anthony
podcast,
Edwards,
which will be on his podcast doing a crossover next week. So tune in to next Tuesday. Tune into his channel, and you will see our lovely faces.
Yeah, go subscribe to their YouTube channel and subscribe to their podcast on all your audio platforms, wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. Pause it for a minute. Go subscribe to Adam's podcast. Come back and listen to ours. Then you can go to listen to all of his. So, yeah. But we're looking forward to that. We had a lot of fun back before the season started, so we're looking forward to kind of doing.
It's not feel that long ago. I feel like I don't know why basketball season was.
It's everything's flying by. I mean, spring football's going on right now. Boiler baseball's undefeated, ranked.
One of 3 undefeated.
One of 3. Clemson,
nuts.
Clemson, Virginia, and Purdue.
Yeah.
Baseball school,
baby. Let's go.
What a turnaround, though. I mean, they won 13 games total last year. So I know last year was a weird year, but
best uniforms out of any Purdue squad.
I love those.
Awesome uniforms. I would love for Purdue basketball to do a script Purdue jersey. Oh my god, or even like a pinstripe one. I don't pinstripe, but a script Purdue one would be incredible.
And Alexander Field's a great place to watch a ball game. So take the family, go enjoy some hot dogs, some beers if you're of age to drink, and if not, just get a soda and enjoy a good day at the ballpark. It's a good facility for sure.
Yeah, they built that. My freshman year was the last year of the old baseball field right behind Wiley. Yep. That's where I lived.
We were Big Ten champs that year.
I remember I went to a Michigan State game, and I remember seeing like a grand slam, and I was like, "This is going to be amazing." 4 years of baseball. And then
I think I went to three or four that games that year that we had Kevin
Pilecki.
Thank you. Yep, former Red Sox and Matt. And I think he still is on.
He's on the Red Sox.
Or is he in the Indian or a not the Indian? What the heck's their name?
What is it? Guardians.
I
about said Cavalier. Oh my god.
My mind's not with baseball, even though MLB finally got their stuff together today, and we're gonna get a baseball season. So, but we're kind of jumping all over the place tonight.
We are. This is Andrew's not here to reel us in.
Yes. Ray says, talking about podcasts, check out Rayfield Davis's podcast. He interviewed Brock last year about what a life of a manager is like. Great show and stories. Yes, absolutely. Rafe's got a good one out there as well.
To go back to what we said about Kevin Pilecki, he's still on the Boston Red Sox, according to his Instagram.
There we go. I don't like them, so I don't even like to talk about them. But yeah, okay. Let's kind of circle it back to the Big Ten tournament a little bit.
Are we talking about the IU game at all, or just kind of it was not a fun game to watch, let's be honest, but
I don't really want to talk about it.
That's fine, me either. We won. It's probably the least enjoyable game.
I will say,
probably my lifetime.
I used to listen to games on TuneIn Radio. Well, TuneIn Radio got smart, and now to watch it, to listen to a live game, you got to pay like $14.99 a month. Mm-hmm. I wasn't doing the free trial, so I'm like, all right, I'll try to tune into this remote doc that you're doing. I gave it 2 minutes and shut it off. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take his commentary. Mm-hmm. It was very annoying. So, so they got the win. But who wins tonight? Penn State, Ohio State?
My head says Ohio State, but I would not be surprised to see Penn State because Ohio State talking about backpedaling.
They're limping. They're limping.
They are backpedaling into the tournament. They had, just like Purdue, they had it all set up to where after beating Illinois, they had it all, right in front of them to win the Big Ten, get a share, and then you lose at Maryland and then at Nebraska. I mean, that is just, as John Rossi was, the epitome of brutality.
Yep. I think I'll make a prediction. Penn State's up a half. Ohio State catches them in the second half and wins.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have more skill. It depends on what EJ Liddell can do, and if guys like Aarons can get hot from deep. I mean, between EJ Liddell and Branham, that Malachi Branham, he's a special talent. He'll be probably a lottery pick. When's the last time the Big Ten had this many potential lottery picks between Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray, Johnny Davis, who are probably for sure locks at the lottery. I saw one draft pick I saw one mock draft that had Keegan Murray going to the Pacers, which probably wouldn't be a bad one for the
No,
Pacers.
I wish this was the year Sonics were coming back.
But then you got, those three guys for sure locks. Then, Malachi Branham was probably
Yep.
a fringe lottery pick, depending on what he can do. I'm not sure what EJ Liddell's. I doubt he's lottery. He doesn't have the quickness for a lottery pick, but he's still a first rounder probably.
There was that year that Oladipo went 2, Zeller went 4, and that Indiana team couldn't get past Sweet 16. So, besides that, I'm sure there's been other years. There's been some, but yeah, it's Big Ten draft talent's really deep this year. I think Ohio State gets it done tonight. Let's go down tomorrow. Indiana, Illinois.
I have a bad feeling Indiana's going to win that game.
I made a prediction on the Tan and Jamin Show podcast I do on Mondays. I thought we were going to make the finals and see Michigan. I thought Michigan was going to get hot in this thing for some reason. So it wouldn't shock me if Illinois loses tomorrow, but it all depends on Indiana's start. If Indiana gets behind like they did today, they will not come back and beat Illinois. Illinois is too tough for them to come back. Illinois shoots it too well. Kofi's a monster. I think Illinois gets it done, but it's single digits.
And so it's not going to be a blowout like they had in Bloomington, which kind of another revenge tour for Indiana. They beat Michigan, blew them out. They come back and beat them today. Illinois blew them out their one meeting. If Wisconsin gets through, Wisconsin beat them twice this year. So I mean, I hate to see it, but who's just going on a little run when they've got everybody back now? I think because Galloway was back today, and he just adds so much more to their offense.
As Ray says right here, Galloway was huge today with energy.
Especially Xavier Johnson was out most of the first half with 2 quick fouls, and they were still down like 13, but he was huge for them.
Yeah, Iowa Rutgers tomorrow could be one of the better games of the tournament.
I think Iowa. I was just they're the hot pick right now. They're just.
My goodness, I don't know how you play better than you did today.
No,
they were just lights out today. I agree. Iowa was another team. I was glad they were kind of in the upper part of the bracket that we wouldn't have to see till the championship game.
Yeah, I did not want to. I was worried. The worry I was with getting the 2 was potentially playing Iowa in the first game on Friday if they didn't get the 4 seed.
So we're on agreement there. Wisconsin and Michigan State.
Wisconsin, assuming Johnny Davis is healthy, which it sounds like he should be.
He said on the Big Ten Awards show he sprained his ankle a little bit before they played us, and then he made it worse against Nebraska. So he's going in with definitely an ankle that's not 100%. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Things linger, as we've seen with
absolutely
guys in the past. But I think Wisconsin gets it done.
I agree. And then Purdue, and we think Ohio State's going to win tonight. So Purdue, Ohio State.
Purdue.
Yep. And Illinois,
get revenge from last year.
Illinois, Iowa, 2 teams that do not like each other.
No, and they've been good games. Well, did Illinois blow them out the first time?
No, Illinois got them both in pretty close contests.
Okay. Iowa had a chance to win it. They
couldn't hit free throws.
I mean, we've seen that a lot. Yeah. Going trendy pick. I'm picking Iowa over the. Hard to be a team 3 times. Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you. And then revenge possibility: Purdue, Wisconsin, Saturday.
Hard to be a team 3 times. Go Purdue.
Yeah. I'm if we can get to Saturday, I'm licking my chops either Michigan State or Wisconsin. I'm ready for either of them. Then Iowa, Purdue in the final, like Ray's saying right here. That's what he's predicting.
Hard to be a team 3 times, but we're going to do it.
Yes. Iowa doesn't travel very well for basketball in these. Most other teams still in it do, not Rutgers, but most of the other teams do. So it'll be interesting day tomorrow down in Indianapolis. I know tickets are going for pretty pricey right now.
Yeah.
But it still blows my mind that, Purdue and Indiana could match up this year in the finals, but if they don't, they haven't matched up since the first inaugural Big Ten tournament in 1998 in Chicago.
It's wild.
Just blows my mind.
There was a really good chance we were going to this year, with us being the 1, but then we didn't get it. So
every time it looks like it might happen, one of the teams screws up, if not both of them.
Yeah.
The year in 08 with Minnesota, Illinois in the semifinals.
Yeah. Tickets are going super expensive all of a sudden, going for nothing.
Yep. So any other final thoughts about the overall season, the Big Ten tournament?
I mean, I've been sure because I look back, compared to the last, because really I feel like we're still pretty similar to how we were last year. Obviously, we're a year older and guys are better, but it's just so crazy to look at just how you felt throughout both seasons. Last year, and it had a lot to do with expectation. Last year we had zero expectations, so it was a fun ride. Beating Ohio State, seeing the emergence of Ivy and Edie and all these guys, but then all of a sudden you put a year with where we get to number one, and also you got all these high expectations. Beating Villanova the way we did, coming back and being a North Carolina team that at the time we thought was a pretty decent team has now proven to not be great. Although shout out to them for ruining Coach K's special night.
Yeah, they played pretty well the other night.
Yeah, that was fun.
In the second half.
Yeah. It's now like every time we lose a game, it's like people think it's the end of the world and we're a terrible team. And I would get frustrated too. But it's just I'm trying to now this is the last time we're going to see Jaden Ivey, and we potentially only have potentially only 2 more games to watch Jaden Ivey, and who knows about what Edie does in the future. But these seniors, I don't think they're coming back, so it's just trying to enjoy it while we can, and hopefully they had some time to work on some things this week in practice, because really when you get to these types of things, you just, as I heard Painter say, you can't just work on yourself. It's kind of hard. Obviously. We don't even know who we're playing tomorrow. Obviously, but the nice thing about this tournament is you've got a whole season of film to go through and look at.
Everybody knows each other.
Everybody knows each other. You basically just kind of do what you do. But hopefully when we get out of the Big Ten tournament and get into NCAA, things open up a little bit for us. We did so well in non-con. Hopefully we can do the same thing against non-Big Ten teams.
Say we lose tomorrow night. What's our seed come Sunday?
Oh, I'm terrified it'd be a 4. But I think, on Lenardi's latest bracketology, we think we were the first 3 seed.
Right.
So actually, I'm going to look up who else.
I think we're a 3 no matter what. I think if the only reason we might drop back to 4 would be if we played Penn State and lost.
I could see that. So behind us is Villanova, Tennessee, and Texas Tech. Let's go check that.
Texas Tech's in action tonight.
Yep. Villanova's up 3, just under 4 to go. Oklahoma is up 6 with 41 seconds to go. Wow,
that's a big upset.
Is Oklahoma in?
I don't think so.
No, they're on the next 4 outs. That'd be
be
big for them. Notre Dame's down 8 with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, they're done.
But I think if we we'd really like for Villanova to lose tonight just to kind of get them off our back. Who does Tennessee play? I don't want to see Tennessee in the tournament at all, and I'm
just tired of playing them.
Yeah, I've got a buddy who's Tennessee fans. I hope to God we're both 3 seeds so we don't see each other in the, because we both only see each other.
Tired of, I mean, we've
they play Mississippi State tomorrow, so in the quarterfinals. So yeah.
If we win the whole thing, can we bump up to a 2? You think?
Well, let's look at the 2 seeds. You got Wisconsin, Duke, Kentucky, and Auburn. Wisconsin's the last 2 seeds. So I think but it's also like, if we say we win tomorrow and play them Saturday, does beating them once out of 3 times bump us above them? It's like, what is the committee value more? Is it
I would think so if we would beat them and then go on to beat whoever we play on Sunday. But at that time, usually the committee already typically, because the Big Ten's tournament finals, the last game before the selection, usually they already have the seeds kind of made up and that game doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we run the table and we beat Wisconsin and we beat Illinois, I could maybe see.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We went through a gauntlet.
If it's Ohio State, Wisconsin, Illinois, that's 3 tournament teams, it's locked in tournament teams, no one on the bubble. I think you could probably have an argument depending on see what those teams above us do. So that'd be interesting.
Yep. It'll be interesting to watch, see how it all plays out.
I mean, I 2, 3. I really don't. Obviously, I'd love to be a 2 just to give that one more thing of separation between the teams you're playing. But because I'd almost rather be a 6 seed than a 4 or 5 seed.
Ray asked, should Lundy of Penn State been named all conference 2nd or 3rd team?
I mean, there's so many guys you got to make a case for. I mean, it's such a, for being a weird year. There's a ton of talent in the Big Ten as there is every year.
And unfortunately, when you get down there, especially to like the 3rd team, usually it's how your team's doing too. Mm-hmm. And he just wasn't on a very good team. I mean, because the 2nd team was stacked with Edie Dickinson, Trace Jackson Davis, Frazier. I don't remember who the other guy on the second team was.
Was it Branham?
Might have been. If not, he was third team.
Let's check.
Yeah.
Let's go to Boiler Ball since it'll be probably the quickest way for me to find it.
Yeah, the teams were stacked this year. It was. Oh, Geo Baker was second team. Geo. No,
okay.
Ron Harper Jr. Ron Harper Jr.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. I had, Ron Harper Jr. was second team. So third team was Travion Williams. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head.
I'm trying to find it.
I think Gabe Brown made third team for Michigan State. I could just Google it. I do have a computer right here.
To find it. This is not, man, Twitter is not being my, oh wait. Nope, Twitter's not being my friend right now.
I'm getting it right here. Third team was Alfonso Plummer, Gabe Brown, Bryce McGowan's, Brenham, Trey Williams, and Geo Baker. So there was 6 guys on the third team. And on the second team, I forgot about Davison because I can't stand him. So there's 6 guys on the second team as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even your honorable mention list was pretty good. Jordan Bohannon, Fats Russell, Malik Hall, Jameson Battle, Peyton Willis. Wow, Lundy wasn't even on the honorable mention.
Which means he didn't get a single vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're honorable mention, it means you at least got some vote.
Yep.
Wow. Yep, Baylor's going to lose to Oklahoma.
Hate to see it. So, we got 2 more sponsor reads to go over real quick. 2 sponsors who have been longtime sponsors of the Boiler Breakdown podcast. One of those is Webb's Family Pharmacy. Webb's Family Pharmacy is an independently owned community pharmacy with stores located in Rochester, Akron, and North Manchester, Indiana. They have vaccines of all different kinds, of course, for flu shots, which we're kind of starting to get out of flu season now. But, of course, COVID-19 shots, simply call to set an appointment, or you can do it online. It's just a simple few steps. But either way, their friendly and caring staff will be happy to help you for all of your high-quality medical equipment, supplies, and pharmacy services. Check out their website, webrx.com, or just give them a call. Webb's Family Pharmacy, professional pharmacy with a hometown touch.
Notre Dame down 5 with 47 seconds left.
Ooh, getting a little tight.
Looks like Virginia Tech's at the line.
And the Boiler Breakdown podcast is also brought to you by Sroufe Landscaping Nurseries. Sroufe Landscaping Nurseries has been in business for over 50 years and can handle all of your landscaping needs, including landscape design, maintenance, irrigation, hardscaping, cleanup, and they are licensed lawn applicators. Contact them today for all of your landscaping needs at 574-223-2769. Sroufe Landscaping Design with you in mind. All right, Webby, let's boiler up, hammer down, beat either the Nittany Lions and Buckeyes, Spartans or Badgers. Hawkeyes, Scarlet Knights, Hoosiers or Illini. Yeah, that was a mouthful there. Ray says, Sroufe are great people and Purdue grads. Yes, they are Boiler owned and operated. I've had them do some work for me. I know they do work on my parents' lawns, so can't speak highly of Mitch Melton and his crew enough. So, and all of our sponsors, we thank them for being on along with us on this ride this year. It's always fun covering Purdue football and basketball with you guys. Thad Mooney says, beat the gauntlet, 100%. Let's take care of business one game at a time and head into the NCAA tourney, the granddaddy of them all, as I called it yesterday. Somebody like, why did I just call it that? That's the Rose Bowl, but head into it with some major momentum. So let's boiler up and hammer down.
Boiler up.